What's going on? Welcome to Yatra. I gotta go sleep. Fair enough. Fair enough, brother. Truly no expectation, no pressure. Let yourself rest. Rest your body, brother. I feel like I'll genuinely probably be here, probably for like an hour. I don't think I'm gonna do it. And I did freaking like 4 hour, 4.5 hour stream, but I was a lot of it. I was just hanging out in the sun, just kind of meditating and just chilling. But yes, zero pressure. It's good to hear from you, my friend. Though. Grab some literature. Literature. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, Nenzel. Welcome, friends. I often return to this sort of simple core thought, and of course, as I was doing cold plunges extremely frequently, I would see this so actively that the elements, really just the elements, man. It's such a powerful healing modality. Our ability to heal ourselves is really just often rooted in our relationship with the elements. I don't know, I really like this book. I found this actually at this metaphysical bookstore that I was at, called Elemental Healing. This is this book here. A lot of visualizations, a lot of talking about kind of like moving energy and introducing awareness to energy, but yeah. The simplest right, a lot of it is just learning to almost just connect intuitively. That is through, like, say, energetic practice or maybe meditative practice. Learning to just, reflect and meditate and honor the elements. I think that itself is a really life changing thing. Yeah. As you can see, I follow you the whole day, like a stalker. Nice. I mean, these are the breaks. These are the breaks. This is the public domain that is YouTube. I mean, this is my community space that I, facilitate and sort of create the energy for. But everyone is welcome technically until I until I send them on their way. Wow, I'm looking at the spider that's just floating. It's almost like the spider is just sitting there, just like dancing. Like he's on a single thread, just kind of slowly floating around. You give us such a peace. That's amazing, brother. Yeah, honestly, earlier today, I actually well, even I woke up from a nap. I was like passed out. And I was gonna go to actually a rave. Well, it's like a sort of a flow jam, local, kind of more intimate rave. But I woke up a little later than I thought I would. But then I was like, all right. This is the universe desiring to just direct me to go to maybe a show tomorrow. Maybe there's phenomenal events that I'm meant to dance at tomorrow. So today I'm just taking it easy. I'm just letting myself just be present, just nurturing my body. But surely, in response to that, I really think it's almost like an interesting paradox. The way that, phones, social media, even just being one that is a creator with an intention, it's like, it's a very um, exquisite, very nuanced dance, the dance with this realm of creating content, engaging in your phone. And I think, surely it is something that as you have healthy boundaries, as healthy awareness of your boundaries and how to root yourself, and you have healthy intention within that, surely you can transcend anything, so to speak. Even if you are engaging in, say, a social media portal like YouTube, you're growing a YouTube business and you're engaging in this public sphere, the more you are again practicing like genuine self-awareness and you have a genuinely powerful intention, I really think it can be completely and continuously transformative. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still navigating these waters. I'm obviously just a dude who's like on this quest to do. I've spent such an immense amount of time on YouTube these last like 5 months. Obviously, very intentionally woven. A lot of it's just performing music, having deep discussions, sharing things I'm passionate about, connecting and unifying. But it's like, wow, it's true that I'm a strong believer in being present in the real, in the real world. Like I think it's transformative in every right to give yourself the ability to sever your bonds with technology and social media, very appropriately so. So it's almost like a very powerful experiment for me to expose myself, for lack of a better word, to, the phone, social media so actively. But, of course, with a true, genuine intention and level of presence, I think it really does deeply integrate itself. It's fun. Before I went on the stream, right, I found myself, did you go out to the forest? I actually did not. I did not. Yeah, I basically just made a bunch of food and I went to sleep. I took a nap. And yeah, when I woke up, it was pretty much dark. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it is. I think I've kind of, realized this very actively. It's sometimes such a grind. Like to build a YouTube, to do streams where I'm just like giving it my all, I'm spending many, many hours really growing these things. I prioritize it very heavily. Obviously, I'm also honoring my body and honoring my health, but yeah, it's an interesting grind. This is the only time truly in my life where it's gonna be like this. We're grinding for this specific thing. Now, obviously, I think people can justify always trying to. DNA activation will be your best friend if you're opening. DNA activations, yeah. You've transformed a chaos of YouTube into a channel of deep souls. Thank you, brother. Every time I send you Reiki when you're doing a live stream. That's beautiful. I can feel that, brother. I can feel that in some context. I love to take time to really just like honor my energetic body as well. And these things. So that's beautiful. I appreciate that, dog. I feel like, yeah, that's, I can't always see the fruits of my efforts. I can always assume, like, I understand to some level intuitively, I'm putting out an intention, I'm creating this wave, but it's beautiful when I see it, like, immediately reflected back to me by others who are just really appreciative. Like, you know what? YouTube is a kind of wilderness, and to have the ability to actually, like, you know what? We as individuals can create a safe, regulated, meditative, open-hearted space together, or just as individuals within ourselves. Powerful stuff. Like a lot of us on an unconscious level, we're operating out of like narratives, myself included, where we're dysregulated. Our nervous systems are feeling compromised. They're feeling, so heavily programmed, where they're forgetting the core truths of what it really desires and needs. I'm trying to find right now. I'm trying to go through this Joe Dispenza book and find some relevance or some like relevant, antidotes that I can sort of throw out there. But so much of it just goes so deep. It goes from 0 to 100, like over and over and over again. Yeah. It's great though. I think I've read part of this. Getting beyond our body, our environment, and time is not easy, but it's worth it, because once we disconnect from the three-dimensional reality, we enter a whole new reality called the quantum, the realm of the infinite possibility. Describing this reality is a bit challenging because unlike anything that we're familiar with in the physical universe, it is unlike. The rules of the Newtonian physics, the way we are used to thinking the world works, simply do not apply. The quantum, or the unified field, is an invisible field of energy, an information, or you could say a field of intelligence or consciousness that exists beyond space and time. Nothing physical or material exists there. It's beyond anything that you can perceive with your senses. This unified field of energy and information is what governs all laws of nature. I've surely read that particular part before, but I love that. That really resonates. Favorite pizza? Damn. I mean, honestly, bro, I haven't eaten pizza truly in like years and years to come, but like pizza. But I make my own pizza sometimes. Yeah, I like to make cauliflower or sweet potato crust pizza. Like I make the crust and then yeah, have like a healthy organic tomato sauce, and then I put the potatoes. Usually I pan fry them or air fry them, put those on, and yeah, do like onions, maybe some like spinach or something, some kind of healthy, almost like martini pizza, but it's like a hybrid. It's really good though. Do I have books that I recommend? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. One second, I'm gonna grab some, some stylistic. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, depending on what you really desire to learn about, I would say there's many different books I would recommend. I mean, if you're interested in learning about like core philosophies, like truly just like Alan Watts, like Age of Anxiety, he touches on like entry level metaphysical philosophy, like metaphysics, but also just like almost like ancient Zen Buddhism philosophy from a very integrated place. So that's a good place to approach. But I often recommend Andrew Holosek. Andrew Holosek is the book that I often refer to as of recently, and I'm reading this one myself. There's a couple of them, but yeah, Andrew Holosek touches on all the elements of understanding the philosophical connection between lucid dreaming and lucidity as a whole. And it's basically the simplest way I could try to explain it is, as I love to touch on, it's like ancient Tibetan Buddhists and the Buddha himself were lucid dreamers. That was like things. They were dream yogis. They entered visionary states very often, and in their dreams, it was like very apparent that everything that Andrew Holosek likes to return to was often connected to the ancient Tibetan Buddhists and the ancient Spanish Toltec. These guys all were lucid dreamers. But so Andrew Holosek's work, thought I had that there. Andrew Holosek's work really goes deep, I'd say. But another book I'd highly recommend that's been a game changer is actually, this may, depending on if you are one that is on the path to learning to transmute sexual energy, which personally, that's life changing stuff. If you're a man and you are basically on the path of trying to learn semen retention, you're trying to basically just in the simplest way create a conscious relationship with sexual energy, which is truly life changing stuff. I couldn't advocate this enough. If you're in the process of studying, yeah, like semen retention, sexual transmutation, life changing endeavors. Something I've been studying for about 6 years now. But yeah, there's a book called, well, this one's Taoist Secrets of Love, Cultivating Male Sexual Energy by Mantek Chia. It's actually Mantek Chia. He's a Chinese Taoist practitioner. He actually has a temple, has like darkness retreats, various retreats. But this book, it's actually reworked by Michael Wynn. Michael Wynn is a student of Mantek Chia's. Really likes his practice, and he basically rewrites. He's a writer, and he emulates a lot of Mantek Chia's core practices, makes them very, very clear, very comprehensive. So this entire book is basically like I wouldn't even say a master class, but an entry level master class, maybe, if that makes sense. An entry level approach to understanding ancient Taoist sort of sexual transmutation. And I'll be perfectly honest, this book, Mantek Chia, again, Mantek Chia, Michael Wynn, not a book you can just pick up casually and expect to understand. It's a book that I've read it like probably 6 or 7 times over like, 6, 7 years. And it takes many years to make sense of, because a lot of what they're referring to is ancient Taoist practices that align with like, years and years of practicing qigong and deep meditative states. And it's like you require a foundational awareness of how to engage in semen retention, which alone, if you may or may not be familiar, if you're watching this, semen retention is very difficult. You probably know this from mainstream, literature or media that talks about what semen retention is. But if you ever have practiced it, you'll learn it's a really difficult practice that takes many years to hone. But eventually, if I were to make this very clear and forthcoming, practices like this paint a larger picture of not only that these are ancient practices that have been done for thousands and thousands of years, but they are a deeper path. It's almost like it is the deeper path to alignment that allows you to honor sexual energy and basically experience it in a healthy, conscious way. And I'll be perfectly honest, when you experience sexual energy in a healthy, conscious way, it's obviously you're still a human being. We're still biological beings, but you get to experience the best of both worlds. You know, you're balanced. You can really appreciate and choose consciously what you engage in within your desires. It's a deep woven thing. But anyways, that's that's a rabbit hole that I love talking about, mainly in the real world, to fellow men in my life, where I love to just kind of hold space for conversations about stuff like that. But a lot of mainstream individual, it kind of bounces off their head because not because it's a difficult practice. It takes a lot of years to figure it out. But yeah, Mantek Chia, Andrew Holosek. Love Andrew Holosek. I've really liked this book. It's a weird, again, this is more like a visualization book about connecting with the elements. Again, similar. You may notice the core theme is a lot of these, they're modern authors that are basically touching in ancient Taoist and ancient Zen Buddhism philosophies and techniques. I'll be perfectly honest, it's just magical how much powerful knowledge is out there in the ancient Chinese realms. Like it's you may or may not be familiar, but like the amount of just ancient philosophy and energetic practice relating to things like qigong, things I'm literally such a new student to. It's like thousands and thousands of years of heritage within these cultures that only recently, even the last like 100 years, has this even been something that the Western world has had access to. It's a very interesting thing. Sure, brother. Can I find them easily? I'm curious about everything. Sure, brother. All these books you can find on most of them. I think you can find on Amazon. I think Mantek Chia book you got to buy from his like Amazon link. But yeah, almost all these books you can buy on Amazon. The authors, they sell them themselves. But yeah, you just got to know where to look. Yeah, sure. Have you read in some books of Gurdjieff? Gurdjieff. I can't say I have. If you're referring to the Mantek Chia book, this is the Mantek Chia book. Yeah, this is the Mantek. It's got very interesting. And of course, the Andrew Holosek one is this baby. His books are like these. Andrew Holosek's just a gold mine, honestly. It's fun. Before I hopped on the stream, I was actually watching a podcast with Joe Dispenza. I just randomly went on YouTube and was like, I think the other guy, he's a famous podcaster, he was interviewing Joe. And man, I was deeply enjoying the talk, the back and forth. It was a lot of it was, similar to the books I'm reading about Joe's book, Becoming Supernatural. But Joe Dispenza is his core thesis, his core message is so clear. It's so obvious in many rights of what Joe is trying to emulate to us. It's the ability that we have to basically rewrite our narratives, rewrite our thoughts with the emotion and the energy behind our thoughts and our emotions. Very simple things. Like honestly, it's a lot of what I like what Joe does is he's a very scientific, dude. He's very like neurological based. He loves to talk about the way the brain and the psychology or the psyche experiences things. He's very scientific. He's very like intellectualized, but he's obviously also deeply connected to the metaphysical domains. And I love the way that Joe Dispenza, he almost like says these things like these should be common knowledge. Like he's putting this information out there and being like, You just have to, think of that emotional experience that is in your future, that elevated emotion you're creating with your future, as he's saying in his kind of, you know, segmented way. It's like literally just think about how, like, think about that in a simple way. If you're just like, you think into your brain, you're like, you know what? Like for me, I do this weirdly enough. The reason why this makes a lot of sense to me is I've only been recently reading Joe Dispenza's work, like really going into it. I've been doing this for many, many, many years of my life. And even when I create this YouTube channel, when I was zero subscribers in, like, and I was on 0 to 10, going 10 to 100, 100 to 1,000, I did the very same thing unconsciously. I would often, and I do this now, even when I'm creating my YouTube streams, when I'm thinking of, ideas of, wow, okay, what if this idea would resonate with my viewers and really trigger the algorithm? And, I could be like, wow, I'd be in this beautiful place in 5 months where I'm traveling to Japan or Thailand. And it's like the emotions that I flood through me when I think about the actual tangible feeling of being like, wow, if I decided to be like, no, I'm going to go Australia and visit my other friend who I've met through this community, and then I maybe go and train, circus acrobatics in Barcelona, and, go and sit on a beach and do a stream, like the feelings of what those evoke in me, those are just examples. Those are exactly what Joe Dispenza is speaking about, right? Ashe, ashe, brother. Ashe, late night stuff. Can you do a whip? Whoa, whoa, dog. I absolutely can not. I'm sure you thought I was going somewhere with that, but no, I'm not. No, no. So why don't you do a paid payment masterclass or workshops like events and Zoom on YouTube and these something to pay with something? While you play. On themes while you play with something. Absolutely, Tastro. In the long future, in the future, I'll be perfectly forthcoming. I desire to avoid like little loops and people jumping through hoops and loopholes of money garnering transactions. I desire to evade that as much as humanly possible. Where yes, there will hit a point where I want to teach people master classes of teaching about guitar, about movement coaching. I'm actually on the path in the future. I'm going to be a movement coach. Like I'm going to be a movement coach who's going to teach people a diverse array of different things relating to their bodies, fitness, health, energy, transmutation, moving energy. Like there's many different things I've actually had this vision for many times. I studied to be a trainer. I've been basically my own trainer for many, many years of my life. But that's a core intention that gravitates in my sphere. But I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on creating the highest quality free YouTube experience for my community. I want to cash massive paychecks passively, you know, creating high quality content, doing the YouTube thing, getting sponsors and ad revenue paying me. I don't want to funnel, these like I don't want to hook people in with these cash grab type course type thing. Sure, in the future, I'm going to do that organically because I love to teach people. I'm sure I'll encapsulate a lot of the things that I've learned and I'll put this into some sort of, you know, concentrated place. But I don't know. But in the simplest right, yeah, brother, I'm really in this place where I really feel strongly about the way Joe Dispenza's work. The overstimulated situation. Whoa, whoa. Damn, bro. Kia, you're just so triggered, bro. It's funny because Kia, you're speaking to the weird convoluted demographic that is you. The demographic that is you, Kia. And it's pretty sad. It sucks. Like I'm sorry that you're so disconnected from the healthy, abundant construct of actually how you can honor your time and make money. Like I'm a hardworking dude. I've worked every job you can quintessentially think of. I work in the film industry as of late, where I'm an actor. I work in a film construct or a job construct that is nothing like what you can identify. And I'm on the route to actually make more money than most people do in a full-time job, passively, while I also perform, do various things. But yeah, I mean, before I remove and revoke your comment rights, if you're still here, Kia, you you need to think bigger. You need to think smarter. Don't work harder, Kia. Work smarter. But there's some unsolicited advice to match your unsolicited advice. You see what you did there? You know, I love fellows like Kia, because you know it's all love. You know, homie's lost in the, you know, the smoky, diluted waters of his own psyche and his own distortions, and he's just trying to find a life raft. You know, he's throwing his projections, being like, "Hey, man, blah 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 blah. Take my unsolicited advice, please, please take my unsolicited advice." And he's like trying to grab onto that life raft metaphorically, not realizing how lost he's appearing, not realizing he or she or whoever Kia is. You know, thank you XYZ example Kia for being you're a shining example of a demographic of someone who is lost, who doesn't understand what they're saying, or you know, is showing just how unconscious and again distorted their perception is in relating to jobs, quotations, air quotations, jobs. Like job, would you think, do you think really your whatever you're doing for a job is truly serving you? You know, have you stepped outside of that model? Have you actually attained a genuine level of fulfillment, competence, and even understood how much you're limiting yourself? To, you know, hypothetical human being here. Nice. Wow. I appreciate you winning, because you've popped on these streams a few times. You know, whining, WYNNG, but I'm happy that you're here because you've revealed, as you know, some do. We have a small percentage of people that flow through, that appear, they project, you know, they say some outlandish stuff like whining just did. And then, of course, you realize it takes me a fraction of a second to permanently remove your rights to comment on this channel. Like, you know, your comment abilities, you know, go comment on another stream, go find your unhinged, brain rot, AI slop community. You go find that whining. And, you know, you just project your brains out. But, yeah, you're just making this easy for me. You're really making this easy to filter yourself and separate yourself from, you know, the target audience that I actually desire to fill my audience with. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the two sacrificial lambs, if you will. You know, they're sacrificing their present they're sacrificing their presence and projecting their narratives, you know, so we can all learn together. Isn't that so beautiful? Isn't that so beautiful? I don't know. Man, I just heard a story, although I don't want to reveal any names. Oh. Oh. Damn, son. I'm not sure if, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Knowing changes everything. Yeah. Surely. I mean, damn. Knowing, yeah, knowing that how little you know is like such an exquisite place to know. I mean, the nature of these streams is I'm here to, you know, try to hold space, share some literature. You know, it's like I'm fortunate to be able to facilitate a space that revolves around music and creative expression and just thinking freely and openly and authentically. But in the simplest right, you know, I strongly believe in being open-hearted and realizing how little one actually knows. You know, it's like that's part of what I enjoy about having dialogues. You know, I'm sharing my opinions so people can meet me with what they feel they understand. You know, if a musician or a fellow, you know, free thinker desires to share their perspective in an emotionally intelligent way, I love to have these discussions to, you know, humble myself, be open-minded. And of course, I don't think the internet is necessarily the most exquisite place to do that, but, you know, it's, sometimes it's what we need. Dan Bro's still streaming. No, I haven't been streaming this time. I haven't been streaming for the last 4 hours. Nice. Nice. Well, that's another one. That was the guy. That's just another one. You know? Random, unhinged dude who's clearly, he's going through it. And we'll never see him again. Homie's a memory of a memory. Unfazed. I don't know what it was you were playing the other night, but it sounded like a violin on the guitar. Yo, thank you. That it was. It was a violin bow. A violin bow on my guitar. Yeah. 1 second. I'm gonna grab actually my tea. But yeah, honestly, what I was speaking to earlier, I think I really enjoy, again, for those of you that are familiar with Joe Dispenza's work, if you have any familiarity with a lot of his core intention is simple. It's like, if you yourself can regularly return, to this elevated emotion or this emotional experience, that is a life that you love to live or desire to live or something you just, you associate positive emotions with, and you allow yourself to fill this thought stream, this elevated experience, like you envision this ambitious, beautiful reality that has not come into your life. And you truly fill your mind with this thought, this feeling. Your body processes that. It like releases a chemical experience based off that. Your nervous system releases a chemical experience. And the bizarre thing is, like, a lot of us, we're operating on the opposite parallel. Like, our body is releasing the experience that is locked into something that we don't want to live. Our nervous system is paralyzed. It's operating out of a compromised place where it's experiencing all these stressors that aren't real, that are not a part of our reality, but we've basically reinforced these emotions that we see out of fear, out of sadness, maybe out of insecurity or whatever it is. And it's a simple thing. Like, that's the bizarre thing, is it doesn't take a whole book and a half or a 2-hour podcast, from Joe Dispenza to truly articulate these things or make sense of them. But, I'm happy that there's individuals like that are devoting themselves to that. Play a lot of different instruments. Hey, thank you, friend. Thank you, JDM. I am a musician. This is, that's my core foundation for everything. This is what this channel gravitates around. Need a moderator. I have a couple gems. I have a couple really phenomenal moderators. Yeah. But I agree, dog. I've recruited 2 really dope ones, Ocean and Amy. And I think I'm opening the door for surely. But I'll be honest, like, let's be real here. None of these like unhinged trolls of sorts, I'm surprised to this moment that they're even flowing through. None of these people are even remotely people or instances that I can't handle. But absolutely, it is a little bit, it's a waste of time, and I'm sure they're fully aware that they're there to waste, people's time or their time or whatever. They're just, it's weird. It's like, these are humans that clearly don't honor their time. Oh, we're in dropped D. But as Bruce Lee said, it's for those of you that value life, value your time, value life, or value your time, because that's what life is made of, something like that. You got to value time. It's a deep parallel. Okay. Mm-hmm. 8 DOD personalities. Okay. Wow. Huh. Yeah, that sounds like a very harrowing, dimension of the human experience. I would say, yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't say that's like inherently not something that it's negativity, sure, but it's a real reality. Obviously, yeah. Like, humans can commit atrocities. Like, that's an inevitable, evident fact. Not something to fixate on, I would say, but surely You know, what do you advise for me to becoming a better actor? Which books are you reading now? Because I'm doing straight authenticity method mixed with the strange. Interesting. I mean, I'm a new actor, bro. Like I'm new as shit. Like I wouldn't even consider myself an actor. I mean, I know how to act, but I'm not like an actor. But I think if I were you, if I were a person that was like, you know what? I want to get better at acting. There's a few core things I would do. Now, one of them is I would actually seek out an acting coach that through YouTube. Strangely enough, there's actually a couple actors that are like YouTubers. They're like known from like I think one he's on like Stranger and Then Things or whatever that show is, and he's an actor that has a YouTube where he basically shares like different clips talking about acting scenes and how to tune to the nuances. And he's an acting coach, and he just does online coaching where he has clients that he teaches. I would actually go and invest probably in one of those if I was like, you know what, I want to be an actor and I want to do principal acting right now and like really go deep in that world. But that's the secondary realm. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm blessed to live in Vancouver. I'm not in Vancouver, I'm in Coquitlam, but I'm in the same lower mainland area, right? The Vancouver film industry is massive. And I'll be honest, the massive core thing that you would probably desire to do if you want to get good at acting is be on film sets as much as humanly possible. Like, take up background acting gigs, do vertical film gigs. Like, it doesn't even matter necessarily if they're the most like elaborate roles. You learn so much about acting literally just by being on film sets surrounded by other actors. And for me, it's like that's for me. I was doing that for actually about 2, 3 years before I was even devoting myself to YouTube. I just did that for fun because it's so fucking fun. I meet so many actors. I've met so many actors, and they're the most beautiful human beings. And I'll just sit there and play guitar and eat fruit and vibe with these actors and learn from them. I'll talk to them, and then I'll go on film sets, and I'll get to watch them do their thing, and we'll do some improv acting together, and then I disappear into the sunset. But it's like, yeah, dog, I would say YouTube acting coaches seem to be a powerful resource I would personally approach if I really wanted to be seriously approaching acting. And further, yeah, getting on film sets as much as humanly possible seems to be a wise engagement, if that's a possibility. I'm not sure how it's like out where you're from, like what the film community is like, but for me, you could like, if you made the conscious choice, there is a few very powerful um, film industry modalities out there that are really easy to get into. One is background acting, of course. Background acting, you do that. You have to probably have an agent still. You want to get into the flow of being accepted and, get some seniority, so to speak. And the second one is something called vertical films to Lomar. So very strange. I don't know if you're even aware of this, but I would like to be a better actor with the books you read. Absolutely, brother. The books, 1000% would translate, I think. Because being an actor is similar to all performance art. That's why I love all performance art, as a whole. It's all about like accessing an authentic place within yourself. Like it's about authentically experiencing the human experience. Like it really is. Like it's not that complex. Sure, you want to be conscious of, body language and micro expressions and cues and eye levels and all that. Sure, that stuff you'll learn when you're in front of a camera on a film set. But all acting often comes down to is just learning how to channel the authentic human experience. And you do that in many different performance arts. You do that in music when you're playing a song and you're singing your heart out and performing. You do that when you're, yeah, doing many things, really, when you're in a performance. So it's almost like, yeah, whatever can let you return to living a authentic life, like living openly, honestly, in a place where you're experiencing real human emotions, you're experiencing real intense just life experience. That is what will translate, because when you're an actor, you're just taking real authentic human experience and you're channeling that emotion. If you're like, turmoil, happiness, ecstasy, maybe anger, depression. When you're trying to act, you just channel that. You literally just let that flow through. I don't know. Again, I'm not a principal actor. I've done some principal roles, but I love acting. It's super dope. And I think, you know, once I launch deeper into my music career and, you know, YouTube career, and I'm making X amount of money, I'll probably just start doing acting. I actually likely will for fun. Like I'll start doing, you know, principal acting commercials and this and that because it's a fun expression, right? But yeah, but anyways, to teatro, there's actually something called, yo, there's something called vertical films. This is a very weird chapter of the film history. If you're not familiar, it's massive in China, massive in Japan, but there's something called vertical films. Like, hear me out, right? I'm not sure how it is in where you're from, teatro, but in Vancouver area, they're massive right now. They're actually gigantic. Where there's something called vertical films. They're a weird, like app based short cinema drama story. Basically, that's what they are. You know, I've never watched them, but if you, they're like for mainly oriented for women. Where if you go on an app, the reason why they're called vertical films is because they're shot from a vertical lens. So that is, they're meant to be watched on your phone. They're meant to be watched on your phone, and you basically, there's apparently in China and Japan or wherever they make them excessively, they have apps, like tons of apps where you download an app, you pay a subscription, and then you watch a lot of these random dramatic vertical films, and then you watch these, whoa, and they're actually hilarious. I'll be honest, I've never watched them consuming it, but I've been on them where I've acted for them, and they are so fucking hilarious. Because the core thing is in these vertical films, they're dramas, but the drama is like way over the top. Like it's literally like, I remember I used to do these for like 5 6 months. You're like, you know, at some random point, oh no, like some dramatic thing, and one guy takes out a gun, and oh, shoots this person, and then oh whoa, and then person takes out like a glass and smashes over the other person's. It's like super over the top, like almost like bourgeois, like weird drama. It's like drama as shit, and it's hilarious because when you're watching actors do it, it's very fun and entertaining. But anyways, my whole point is, if you can get into the vertical film community, they happen, they're shooting like 40 of these at any given time, non-stop, because they're in 8 day successions. They do 8 day shoots. They start and they wrap in 8 days. So they're moving very fast. They're like, okay, we're going. And there's like 30 or 40 happening usually at once, all around like the province. And yeah, it's very weird. But the idea is, what I'm saying is, if you get on vertical sets and you get opportunities to be around all these different actors that are basically like, what's the word? They're like speed running acting. Like they're speed running a film shoot. It's the most exhilarating and fun experience. You don't get paid a lot. You get paid like minimum wage, like maybe like 20 an hour or something. But it's like, you just get to be on a film set surrounded by actors, and you have all these interesting little interactions and opportunities that are very bizarre. It's basically, I'll be honest, this is how I would describe it. It's basically like you're getting paid to watch and be a part of live theater, like really cringe, over the top, hilarious live theater. That's what verticals are. So if I was you and I was like, I want to get an acting, yeah, I would get an acting coach through YouTube, and then get on film sets as much as humanly possible. That would accelerate your ability to learn acting. I mean, I do it like tentatively. Like I do it like maybe every couple weeks, if sometimes in bursts, and I'm not even like a part of that scene, but it's like crazy. With Popping Into Your Lives, always talking about some super intellectual stuff. Why, thank you, Doc. Today we're just winging it. I don't think we're gonna be around for very long. Maybe for another like 40 minutes, which is like, you know, but it's it's probably because the 4.5 hour stream earlier, I swear that just like cooked my brain, like in a good way, where there was a lot of good intention and interactions, but I got to that point where I was like, what am I doing here? I'm like, I just did 4.5 hours of streaming. It was great though. It was great. I loved it. But low key, I was telling myself, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should not do a stream tonight. And you know, if I had 4,000 watch hours and I was already cashing checks, I would probably not. But we need 4,000 watch hours, baby. We need those watch hours. Gotta get those watch hours. I don't know. Can you see the northern lights? I wish. That would be amazing. What's going on, Mills? Welcome, friend. Welcome, Nicole. I use music and chakra meditation when I prepare for a character. You seem to have the right idea with so many things, teatro. Yeah, like you really seem to have like Like intuitively, you seem to just have such, you have truly such a interesting energy. I think you're gonna do great, brother. Like double down on like some cool modalities, awaken these like things even deeper, and you're gonna do great, dog. Honestly, love popping in. Yeah, what's good, Yama life? I do not quintessentially sing on my streams. Off streams all the time. On streams, not very often. Oh, mmm. Oh, so I'm going backwards. I'm going backwards here, looking through comments because I somehow missed a bunch. So I know Floyd, where Hunter was speaking some stuff, expressing some truths. I'm trying to connect the dots. Trying to connect the dots to what he was kind of emulating. So there's a situation, something related to like a court case with how a child dealt with the death of a parent. And you're saying, it's, yeah, keeping it private, respectful, of course. And you're saying something to do with the goal isn't to act as a police officer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a deep parallel we could go on a deep rabbit hole on. And in my own personal space and with my partner, with good friends, I actually talk about these things often. Um, Parenting. Wow. It is a deep rabbit hole. Like we could go deep in about parenting, but I think in general, yes, that's correct. There's many things we could go off relating to. Yes, I think in many rights being a parent is synonymous with I'm not a parent innately. I'm just a dude. I mean, my sister has a child that's 1 and 1.5, and I'm immediately in real time seeing the experience of an infant grow, to 1.5, and she's an adorable child. She's a very intelligent, very intuitive, young girl, and I think about intuitively a lot about parenting, namely because strangely, I feel like for most of my life, I felt strongly my parents didn't really do a good job at some very key moments. They did it the best they could, but I think, long story short, parenting is synonymous with learning to integrate and heal oneself. If you can integrate and heal and understand the quest to honor and integrate your own wounds, you understand what that actually looks like to successfully integrate and heal your wounds and take full responsibility and be fully self-aware as an individual human being. You bring that to the context of a romantic relationship, and then have this in a container of raising a child. It all is a very similar uh, mentality. It's a similar realm that you're exploring. And unfortunately, I don't know. I have a complex world of thought relating to parenting, where just opinions, where I think a lot of people unfortunately are not very well equipped. But you know, the world will still go round. We can all just try our best. Oh. Yeah. I watched. Wow. Whoa. 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 Wait, what? Wait, what? Jeez. Uh, that's that's crazy, bro. To say, gee, honestly, bro, I'm gonna delete that comment because that just sounds like. I mean, you're not gonna remove your rights, brother. But damn, that sounds horrendous. I'm sorry you experienced that, brother. Yeah, that sounds like brain rot AI slop 101. All I can say to that though is hopefully you gotta fix your algorithm, bro. I mean, that's part of like I hear this on YouTube Reddits where people are like, man, my algorithm is just fucked. Where they somehow, their algorithm is filled with like AI and cringe this and that, and I'm like, bro, that sucks. Like my AI algorithm is filled with, or some my AI, my YouTube algorithm is literally just filled with music, maybe like movie clips, acting clips, maybe some Andrew Huberman in there, some philosophy. Like my algorithm, it really knows. It really knows how to deliver. Maybe some YouTubers that I follow that I really like, giving me some updates, a lot of comedy, some SNL, lots of SNL clips. That's my YouTube algorithm. I never want that to change. Because YouTube can get really unhinged. It makes me smile, drama like these. Interesting. Dog, it's honestly, watching a drama, I'm not a fan of drama per se. Like, I wouldn't go to my way to watch a drama. But to be an actor, seeing it in real time, like watching lead actors do drama that's like unhinged and over the top, where it's like, they're just like, whoa, this person slept with your, whoa, this person, like, whoa, and they're doing like full unapologetic reaction. Then someone smacks their shoulders in the face, and then oh no, this other guy comes out, but I was the father of this person, then pulls out a gun, and they're just like, what the fuck? And then it's just like, it's so entertaining. Like, I'm sitting there just like what? like what the fuck? It's magic. And then you're getting paid. You're getting paid to be a background. You're like a character that gets to like walk in and be like, like you. I remember I actually, for one of my things, I got a stunt. It was like a stunt role for a vertical, so not a real stunt role. But I basically was a mafia guy. I was a mafia guy. I had a gun, dressed in all black, had some shades, and I basically at some point I would like my whole role at many different points was I would come out of this like I would drive up in this car, take off my shades, and then start just like going up to the lead actor all like intimidating. Then I'm just like just like pretend to fire shots at him, and then at some point he would I would get shot, and then other people would get shot, and then I would just have to pretend I just got shot. But it's like the whole feeling of like everything that happened up to those moments and all that was exhilarating. Where it's like I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like my day is just so like this is my day. It's like I didn't know I was gonna be a mafia dude and chasing down some guys shooting guns and the guy that I got to like do the scene with, coolest guy in the world. Like this guy was like a American. I think I've spoken this once or twice. He's like an American actor who's actually also a country singer. He's trying to be a country singer. He's trying. But he played guitar. And he was one of the few dudes on a film set that brought a guitar as well. So we immediately just started talking. And we were just like talking about types of guitar and stuff we're working on. And then I realized later, I'm like, oh, this guy's the lead actor. I'm like, okay, sick. And then I'm like, no wonder he's such a like zany, talented guy. But it was like so beautiful where I was like, next thing I know, and the next thing we're doing a scene where I'm like shooting him. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh damn, he's the villain. He's the villain actor. And I'm like, holy shit. It's magic. It's magic. Honestly, bro. Aside, my channel's going good. That's dope, man. That's good. That's dope. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good to keep it real, man. YouTube is a crazy place, man. I did respond to what you're saying, but I think it's further up. I just started learning harmonics on the guitar. Yo, that's awesome, Obituary. I love that, bro. Honestly, it's people like you, Obituary, and others that have expressed, they found some real deep connection to harmonics. It really makes me feel like I mean, I don't necessarily feel like creating shorts or even some long format where I'm teaching guitar. It has some value, but I almost feel like I do it because I want people to just learn guitar. I'm not sure if it's gonna, blow up my channel or feed my channel profoundly. Maybe it will, but it's like I think I just want to create fuckloads of shorts, that are teaching harmonics and some of the pivotal parts of guitar because that is dope. I would do that all day long for free, for nothing. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Butcher. That's dope as fuck, man. Yeah, YouTube is becoming a weird place, but I think it's always been weird all along. But that's being said, this is why it's great to think that if you're creating a channel that's like a safe haven or a meditative safe space that's inviting people all around the world that have similar intentions, it's magical. Like you're creating something special that's far beyond you. And that's what I've been seeing a lot. It's cool. It's very cool. I need a new lighter, it seems. Damn, Pauly Santos. Wow. True, Polly Santos is very good. Absolutely, that's not normal for me. Mine is normally about chocolate building. Mmm, interesting. I love when I get 10 shorts of random movies from the 2000s. I feel that, man. I Yeah, that's what I like to fill my YouTube algorithm with as much as possible is nostalgic clips from movies, television series that I really like. Because for me, that's just free dopamine. It's like, if I'm like, oh yeah, like let's watch that scene from The Wolf of Wall Street, or like, let's watch that scene from The Last Samurai, or let's watch some scene from Attack on Titan or something. It's just magical. I love good cinema. So it's like I would love to just fill my anime or fill my YouTube algorithm. That being said, sometimes I swear I literally just use YouTube to just watch SNL skits on repeat. It's literally just like I could just spend forever just watching SNL skits because some of them are so fucking awesome. They're so well made. Yeah, smoking wood. It's called a ritual incense, brother. Yeah, I haven't smoked anything in like 10, 11 years. Yeah, we're smoking ritual incense here. The lighter's failing us though. And just burning these beautiful ritual incense. There it goes. We like to honor our lungs here on this YouTube channel. We honor our lungs. And that being said, it's like, when you're not honoring your lungs, you can't do cardiovascular training. You can't sing really. You can't freaking do all the magical things that your lungs are meant to do, like breathe. Yeah. Was he lighting up ocean? Is ritual incense, brother. Ritual incense. I think this is. What is it? My brother gifted me this. I forget what it's called, but it's patchouli, maybe? A patchouli incense stick. Yeah. I just burn ritual incense like crazy on this channel. Because why not? When you're making music and you're playing pan flute, I truthfully feel it enhances creativity. Sensory experience, yeah. Oh, wait, thank you. How was your walk in the forest? I. Oh, my walk in the forest did not happen innately. I just took a nap. I basically just made a bunch of food, took a nap, woke up, played some guitar, and then decided I was like, I'm going to just stream. And it was already dark out. But the key thing is what I realized is tomorrow's going to be magical. I think I'm probably gonna go to the beach with my partner at some point later in the day, and then early in the day, I think I'm going to do a live stream in the forest, go for a walk before I do that live stream. Just yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny. It's gonna be sunny most of the day, so I think that's gonna be a phenomenal endeavor. Yo, what's good, brother? What's good, Jay? Yes, the pan flute. It's a great instrument. It's a great one. How do you live so close to the beach? Oh, do I live close to the beach? I do not. I mean, I live, it's strange. I live like relatively close to a place called Belcara that is like, it's like a beach kind of rich towny area, but that's like the closest. I'm like maybe 20 minutes away from there. Then there's Wreck Beach, which is like the beach that I go to a lot in the summer. That is basically like a seaside oasis. Like it's beautiful. That's like 2.5 hours away. So I'm very close to one beach. That's like beach. It's like oceanside, but it's not like a true beach. And then like 2.5 hours away or so. Then there's like Wreck Beach, which is like a giant, beautiful, magical beach. Basically, most beaches that I'm yeah near are pretty far, but it's always worth the journey. That's the thing is like I've learned a lot about, well, the beach, from the beach, about just committing to the journey. It's like, it's a strange thing that I think it's the same thing I've actually learned a lot from working in film is I think people, for whatever reason, a lot of people have a very like limiting belief about commuting. Like they have such a profoundly limiting belief about commuting to places. For me, I don't even think twice about it. I live in Westwood Plateau, right? It's like isolated from the regular community. I'm pretty far away from pretty much everything. If I want to go down to the market or go to somewhere that's anywhere, I gotta go down the hill, hop on a bus or drive for like 15, 20 minutes. Like I'm not close to a lot of stuff. And if I want to go to the city, I'm like an hour away at least, like the deep city of the Lower Mainland. So yeah, it teaches me to not really give a crap about time. Like, if I want to go to a beach and it's an hour away or 2 hours away, what is time really? Like, if it's worth taking 40 minutes out of my day to like, if it's a 40-minute commute versus a 2 hour commute or a 3 hour commute, really, what's the difference in the larger construct? If you're committed to go on an adventure somewhere magical, or if you're going somewhere, to really honor your day and really commit to the experience, 1 hour versus 2 hours versus maybe 3 hours doesn't really matter in the larger construct. If you're wanting to do a 3 hour trip to somewhere magical, far off in a deep valley where you just wouldn't have been before, eventually when your mind gives yourself permission to not care about commuting hours, like a lot of people from what I know, is they'll be like, oh no, it's a 40-minute drive or it's an hour drive away. Damn, I'm not gonna go and do that. Or they're like, oh, it's a 2 hour drive. For me, I take transit primarily. It's like, if it's like a 2, 3 hour transit trip, I don't even care half the time. Like my brain will literally be like, well, I prefer, surely some days I want to take an hour, hour and a half commute. Usually it's like an hour commute where I go to places, but I wouldn't think twice. If I'm gonna like 40-minute commute to somewhere versus an hour and a half versus 2.5 hours, for me it's all the same. If you're committing to going to somewhere, you're committing and spending many, many hours of your day somewhere that's transformative. There's no reason to make excuses and like try to split hairs and tell yourself, but maybe I'll go here because it's only 40 minutes versus an hour or something like that. It's just people seem to have a strange conception of time. That's just not the move. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a TV show. I've talked about this once or twice, called Justified. I just love that show. The acting in that show is just so awesome. How about you, my guy? I'm assuming, do you live close to the beach, ocean? Because that would be, it kind of feels like that seems to be in character, but time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Facts. That's so true, brother. Honestly, I never I enjoy I enjoy like so much of my time by default. Like I find, when I work on film sets, it's a normality that I have so much time to just kill, where I'm playing guitar, slipping in dance flow states. I feel like it's a powerful place to, be able to entertain yourself and really make most of every second that you have. And for me, a lot of time I'm just dancing. I just love to slip into dance flow states. Yeah, the video's reversed. Yeah. I think it's because I'm streaming out of my frontal camera. It flips it. I think. But I don't know why. Yeah, everything's reversed. I'm right-handed. Yeah. Yeah, that is odd though. That's odd that they flip it. Yeah. All right, I think it's high time. I'm gonna go into the side meditative room. I really need to get some batteries though for this guitar. It's fresh. Yeah, I almost feel like, someone was asking me earlier today about a Discord. I feel like I would love to. I mean, I thought of this earlier actually when I was thinking about, creating a Discord and putting it out there. I would love to devote the Discord among various things. It's an open platform or portal. I would love to devote it to like almost like a book club kind of Discord where people are, sharing dimensions of what has been inspiring them, philosophically or literal wise or literate wise, book wise. I think that'd be really fun. I've always liked the idea of book clubs. Never really been a part of one, but they just seem like a good idea. Ah, hopefully move close to the ocean. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like part of my vision is, I love living close to the forest. Truthfully, it's just magical. But I feel like, I feel wherever I desire to move in the future, if I'm gonna move to a part, I feel actually one part I would really love to live near is either North Vancouver or Kitsilano, which is very unfortunately all places Vancouver are expensive, but those are like the most expensive. But I think, if I'm doing full-time YouTube stuff alongside just juggling performance art dimensions, it's a worthy pursuit, Why not just live somewhere in a beautiful neighborhood near beaches and whatever. It's like you gotta aim big, I believe. Life, existence, this 3D existence. What an experience. Not bad. This is, I guess, my brother's Ting Sha. It's got pretty good sustains, not bad. Looks pretty cool. I think it's also a different note. It seems evidently. Oof. This one though, it's always, I don't know, it just has such a magical sustain. It just wants to sustain. It's beautiful. I don't know. Welcome, welcome, friend. We're just improvising. Improvising life. My preamp just shut itself off for that. Have you seen? Oh, I have to. My volume or my brightness is very low. Have you seen those singing bowls? I think it's called sound bath music. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. That I have. Yeah. I I own a couple singing bowls, but yeah, that's inherently that's what I do is I create sound baths, like meditative sound journeys that are in a similar realm as sound baths. But yeah, that's kind of where it all began for me. Actually, is about 5 6 years ago. I had a partner. We were together for about a year or so, and she had like a yin yoga class, and she did like a lot of sound baths. Like she was trying. She was on the path. She had like a bunch of beautiful sound bowls, singing bowls, tons of them. Had like a gong and all this beautiful stuff. A lot of it was gifted to her, and she was borrowing from friends and etc. And yeah, we would create sound journeys for a period. She'd do her yin yoga class, and I'd play guitar and pan flute, and then she would create sound bath vibrations, and kind of we'd just improvise. I actually have a, I have a video. I think I on my old YouTube, like my personal YouTube. I actually have that sound journey from like 6 years ago or something. Man, what an interesting time. Yeah, I think the guitar was truthfully a little bit unrefined, but it sounded pretty good. It sounded pretty good. What time is it there? I don't know. I think it's like okay, 11:17. So it's just after 11. I'll probably exit the stream in the next like, maybe 15 minutes or so. I don't want it to get too late and get too stimulated. But I'm enjoying kind of playing around. Experimental 217 here. Whoa. Crazy. 217 here. Good night. Yeah, good morning and night. Wicked. Yeah, it's kind of that perfect but awkward time frame where, I don't want to make too much noise, but also it's like meditative sounds. Let's see what we can do. Interesting. There are lots of diversity within this instrument. Not an instrument I've explored a lot, but I think I'm going to purchase one of these. I'm using my brother's here, this little green tone drum. But so much interesting possibility. Oh. The sitting position is not doing me well. number. Blood circulation there. Welcome, P-Dub. Beautiful, beautiful. Man, yeah. It's been bizarre the way, because my batteries on my preamp have been dead. I actually had a point where, I was live streaming earlier, and about hour 2, I had the inability to actually just play my guitar, where it's like it wasn't working if I would plug it into Ableton, and I was working on some loops. So that was kind of a disheartening feeling. I was like, man, I just want to play guitar so badly, but it's like I couldn't plug it in and really flow with it. I mean, of course I could still play guitar, but I couldn't really studio record or perform it the same way. So it's almost like, in a sense, I've been like indirectly or inherently directing my energy away from playing guitar into other things like the pan flute and this, that, the other thing. But man, I'm just really looking forward to purchasing some batteries and then re-equipping this preamp and then just going nuts on the guitar. Because I feel really inspired, as per usual, with this guitar stuff. I just have so much that I want to just flow through. Those tapping combos. Oof. Those low string harmonics could use some work. Glad I was able to log into one of your lives. Yo, thank you. What's poppin', bro? I can't really see with the filters on, so... Hey, welcome, Riri. Welcome. Yeah, it feels like it's been a few days or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm here perpetually. But absolutely welcome. I know there's another... What's her name? Reedry. Yeah, similar name, but yeah, different. But yeah, she's been reoccurring. But yeah, welcome. We're just kind of doing a mellow, late night shorter. Well, sort of short. We're approaching an hour and a half, but yeah, it's late night guitar stuff. Just feeling the flow. And as I was kind of saying earlier, it's funny. I did like a 4.5 hour stream earlier, and halfway through the stream, my guitar batteries were on low. So I basically was like, oh damn, maybe I gotta stop playing guitar. And that kind of created this like weird and feeling where I was like almost like anticipating the guitar playing. I'm like, oh man, I just really want to play guitar. And then it's like, here we go. It's like, this feels so good. That being said, my technique is like ever so slightly, it's a little bit sloppy. That's just the breaks. It's also late at night, so. Caffeine is good for playing guitar. What is BC? Oh, it's British Columbia. Yes, good guess. Oh, word. Uni exams. Interesting. Wow. I see. Had exams. It couldn't be in the lives. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. I hope your I hope your exams went well. Hopefully everything is flowing well in academia realms. Oh, where did you ever get the guitar you were speaking of? That I did. That I did. And it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. Yes, I've had that guitar for about 5 days. It's a beautiful guitar. It sounds beautiful. It's electric. Ibanez. I have so much untapped potential to tap in on that Ibanez. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, British Columbia, or beautiful British Columbia, as they say it on the license plate. Beautiful British Columbia. Appreciate the support, though. Appreciate the support. Interesting. Hope they're going well. Yeah. Word. I see. I only knew because I also had exams a few days ago. Facts. You guys. Yeah, I know you were speaking about that ocean. That's legendary. You guys, your big brain studies. That's beautiful. I remember, I only did college for a number of years, like 4 years, and yeah, exams are wow. What a powerful time. What a powerful experience. Oh, I think my preamp officially has died. Battery 2.1, so very, very low, very low. Hmm. Nice. That's amazing. This guy. That's amazing, Ocean. We get to see the new guitar. Oh yeah. Crazy. Wow. That's nice. That's what I love to hear. Love to hear successful examination scores. That's tight. Yeah, no, it's if you desire to see it, I'll give you I'll show you the guitar. I won't play it right now because it's actually late. I have some little blips of me playing it on other streams, but yes, Oh, this. This is my Ibanez. Maybe just like prop this up somewhere. This baby. The whammy bar is making a little squeak. That's what whammy bars do. That's their natural noise. Maybe I'll even flip on my backlight just to illuminate. It's this beautiful, beautiful red. Could use a wipe, but yeah, it's just like Ibanez. Ibanez. Yeah, it's quintessentially I plug it in to a guitar rig, but it's late at night. But yeah, it's gorgeous. Such a gorgeous guitar. Yes. Incredible purchase. Life-changing purpose and truth. Purchase, yeah. Oh. Good stuff. Truly, really, right? It's just like, wow. It matches the hat too. You know, you can't really see the hat so well in this kind of lighting and camera quality, but it's the same color palette as the hat. Yeah. That's my favorite color palette. It's dark red, like rich dark red. It's just the legendary palette. Word. All right, all right. Hour 36. Yeah. I think we are going to probably wrap up this stream right quick. Why, thank you. I do love this hat with a passion. It's a beautiful example. Peace to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Amazing, amazing. Hey, yes. Happy to share the love of Ibanez guitars. It's magic. It's beautiful. Yeah, I was like celebrating that guitar and this hat for weeks before. It was just such a great, fun experience. Yeah. So great. Magic. Phenomenal. I think we're going to take this time to, yeah, just do a nice little closing outro. You know, as we did a long ass stream earlier today, and I think it's appropriate time. We're approaching midnight, it looks like, or 20 to midnight. Yeah. Yeah. You know, as I started this stream, I was kind of I'm just losing words. My brain stop. I was reflecting on Joe Dispenza's work. I was watching a podcast about Joe Dispenza, and I really appreciated the way he was like really simply emulating just the experience of how we emotionally experience, you know, everything, our thoughts, our reality that we feel into, that we see, you know, the emotion that is associated with our thoughts, and how powerful having this heightened awareness with this is. And he articulates this over and over again in his books, his podcasts, and all that. But yeah, beautiful thing to think about, beautiful thing to return to. It's like how much we can infuse abundant, elevated, you know, warm and ecstatic emotions with our thoughts. You know, if we think things, we see a beautiful vision in our reality, in our future, our body literally responds, it feels, it listens to the elevated emotions, to the visions of our future and the future that is to come that we desire to create. It literally feels into that. It creates an emotional and chemical reaction. And it's just, it's magic. It's beautiful. Magic. So with that, all I simply say is let yourself really honor that. Let yourself honor the vision. Have a beautiful, ambitious vision of your future. Let yourself really feel and see into that beautiful reality that is whatever you desire to create in your life. Whether that's like, what, I want to just go hang out on a beach or explore Thailand and eat some nice Thailand food, or, maybe that's to just spend quality time with your dog in a forest. It's just, there's so much beautiful, enriching, beautiful moments that we can just fill our somatic experience with. We can associate our emotions and create such a beautiful thing. It truly is. It truly is. Anyways, thank you so much for chiming in. Yeah. As the homie says, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Ocean. W to the moderators. W all day long. We just love our moderators. And yeah, remember to honor yourself and to honor each other in this beautiful reality. And yeah, also, I guess the outro, feel free to subscribe to this channel if this content resonates with you. I teach guitar and I do meditative sound journeys among various things. Probably gonna do a forest live stream tomorrow. Explore the forests. Hell yeah, it's gonna be great. Have a great day and night and day.